We were discussing infertility, and I was saying that the number one reason for infertility is the woman's own birth trauma, and secondly is the confusion within her system about what part of her wants that child and which aspects of her actually are absolutely terrified of the idea. And it could be that that part that is terrified is overpowering her God-given anatomy and keeps her from conceiving. And of course there is mechanical issues, but there are so many modalities that are addressing the physicality, chemistry, there is a lot of stuff that I just mentioned. But the unique niche of Birth into Being is connecting the dots and helping a woman to align within her own systems so she could really understand. Because I don't know, Nicole, if you were present at those workshops when women would declare that they're struggling with infertility, and by the end of the workshop they would realize that they actually don't want a child. And thank goodness that they did not get pregnant, because it was a very, very clear understanding that they would land in, that it was driven by the fact that all their girlfriends had a baby and they couldn't. They were told that they couldn't. So their desire was driven just to fit into the mommy club. And they never actually thought that the main problem with that approach, that after you have a child, there you have it. That they actually never thought about that. That then after giving birth, that child is there 24/7 for the rest of their life. And that comes as a shock, as a surprise, which is really kind of strange, right, on one hand. But on the other hand, it's more common than not. And there is so much attention into preparing a woman for giving birth, and very few classes that are actually informing a woman that her life is never going to be the same. It's not like all the same plus a baby. No.
Lots of women try and do that, though.
Try to do what?
All the same plus a baby.
Right.
Rather than changing their life so that the baby has got all of the needs met and is, like a central kind of thing versus an accessory.
Right. Right. And why? Because nobody talks about it. Nobody actually literally prepares.
Well, the North American model of parenting for a lot of people is like, I have this baby, I put a little bit of time in after the child is born, and then I hand it off to, whoever I can, or school or whatever, rather than actually building a life that, makes sense for the child. But that's the normal model.
Mm-hmm. But on some level, even unconsciously, a woman does know that. So that plays a big part into infertility issues, that her subconscious knows that she is never going to be the same. And that's the part that freaks out at the thought of getting pregnant. And very few healing modalities are addressing this issue from that perspective, that if you want to have a child, you need to be completely conscious in that choice and aligned in that choice, that it's not something that is worth doing out from the place of misalignment, because there's so much drama is coming from artificial insemination. When a woman mechanically bypasses her inability to have a baby, does not address the issue, and just makes the baby's body in spite of the birthing field logic. And having said that, I am not saying that it shouldn't be done, because in some cases there are situations, there are exceptions. You know, every rule has an exception. So we can't issue a blank statement that you know, it's not a good thing. But it is only a good thing when there is some kind of pre-incarnational agreement from the woman's soul with the soul of this baby, that the connection, that manifestation of physical body will be through her, but some kind of, you know, mechanical or environmental damage happened to her physiology in spite of her connection with the soul of that child. So with the infertility issues, one of the main thing is for the woman is to connect with the soul of the baby. And this is like a whoa area where we can measure it, we can put our finger on it, we can't really estimate whether it's a real connection or some kind of temper tantrum.